Welcome to PlantifyDaily, where we make growing plants simple and sustainable. Today, we're counting down the 5 easiest kitchen scraps you can propagate at home, even if you've never grown anything before. These are tried and tested plants that'll save you money and give you fresh produce year-round. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our growing tips. Coming in at number 5, we have fresh herbs, specifically basil, mint, and cilantro. These are absolute game changers, and here's why they're perfect for beginners. Next time you buy fresh basil or mint from the store, don't use the whole bunch. Take cuttings that are about 4 to 6 inches long. Make your cut just below a leaf node, that's the little bump where leaves attach to the stem. Remove the lower leaves, leaving just 2 or 3 sets at the top. Now place your cuttings in a clear glass or jar with about 2 to 3 inches of clean water. Make sure no leaves are submerged, only the stems. Put this in a bright spot but not direct harsh sunlight. A windowsill with indirect light is perfect. Here, what to expect. Within 5 to 7 days, you'll start seeing tiny white roots emerging from those nodes. Once the roots are about 2 inches long, usually after 2 to 3 weeks, you can either keep them in water indefinitely, changing it twice a week, or transplant them into soil. Pro tip: basil is the fastest, mint is the most aggressive, and cilantro is slightly trickier but still doable. Use organic herbs when possible, as conventional ones are sometimes treated with growth inhibitors. At number 4, we have Bok Choy, also called Pak Choi. This Asian leafy green is incredibly easy to regrow and gives you fresh greens in just days. When you buy bok choy, cut off the bottom, leaving about 1 to 2 inches of the base intact. That white chunky part is what we need. Rinse it clean under cool water to remove any dirt. Place the base cut side up in a shallow dish or container with about half an inch to 1 inch of water. The water should cover the bottom but not submerge the entire base. Position it in a sunny location like a south-facing window. The magic happens fast. Within just 2 to 3 days, you'll notice the center leaves starting to grow upward. Keep the water fresh by changing it every 1 to 2 days. By day 5 to 7, you'll have baby bok choy leaves ready to harvest for salads or stir-fries. If you want to keep it going long-term, transplant the base into moist potting soil after a week. The roots will establish, and you can harvest outer leaves continuously while the plant keeps producing from the center. Common mistake to avoid: don't let the base sit in stagnant water. This leads to rot and that unpleasant smell. Fresh water is your best friend here. Number 3 is celery, and this one is so satisfying to watch grow, it's almost addictive. After using your celery stalks, save that base, the bottom 2 to 3 inches where all the stalks connect. Give it a quick rinse to remove any debris. Place the celery base in a bowl or shallow container with about 1 inch of water, cut side facing up. The key is keeping the water level consistent, so check it daily and add more as it evaporates. Put it somewhere with good bright light. Within 3 to 5 days, you'll see something incredible. Tiny yellow-green leaves will start emerging from the center of the base. This is new celery growing. The outer stalks may brown and wilt, that's totally normal. Don't remove them yet, they're feeding energy to the new growth. After about 1 week, you should see visible leaf development. At the 2-week mark, if you see small roots forming on the bottom, it's time to transplant. Bury the base in soil, leaving the new leaves exposed above the surface. Here's the reality check: you probably won't get full-sized grocery store celery stalks, but you will get continuous celery leaves that are perfect for soups, stocks, and salads. Plus, the leaves actually have more flavor than the stalks. And if you're patient and give it rich soil and regular water, you might get thin stalks after several months. At number 2, we have lettuce, and romaine lettuce is your best bet for this method. When you finish a head of romaine, save the bottom part, the core where all the leaves attach. Cut or break off the leaves but keep that bottom 1 to 2 inches of the stem base intact. Place it in a shallow dish with just enough water to cover the bottom 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of the base. Not too much water, we're not trying to drown it. Set it in a bright location with plenty of indirect sunlight. This is where it gets exciting. In just 2 to 3 days, you'll notice the leaves in the very center starting to perk up and grow. By day 4 to 5, you'll have definite new leaf growth. The outer leaves may get slimy or brown, and that's fine, you can remove those as they die off. Change the water every single day to prevent bacterial growth and keep things fresh. After about 10 to 12 days, you'll have a decent amount of baby lettuce leaves growing from the center. At this point, you have options. You can harvest these tender leaves for salads or transplant the base into soil for continued growth. If you transplant, you'll notice the plant eventually tries to bolt and flower. That's natural. You won't get a full head of lettuce like you bought from the store, but you'll get multiple harvests of fresh baby greens, which honestly taste better anyway. And coming in at number 1, the absolute easiest plant to propagate from kitchen scraps: green onions, also called scallions or spring onions. If you've never propagated anything before, start here. You literally cannot fail at this. When you use green onions, don't throw away those white root ends. Cut or chop off the green tops for cooking, but save the bottom 1 to 2 inches, the part with the roots still attached. Those roots are your golden ticket. Take a glass, jar, or even a cup and fill it with about 1 to 2 inches of water. Drop in your green onion roots, standing them upright. Make sure the roots are submerged but the cut end is above water, though it doesn't matter as much with these hardy plants. Place them in any sunny spot. A windowsill works perfectly. Now here, why these are number 1, you'll see growth within 24 hours, I'm not exaggerating. By day 2 or 3 you'll have noticeable green shoots sprouting from the center. Change the water every 3 to 4 days to keep it fresh. Within 7 to 10 days you'll have harvestable green onions. Here's the best part, you can trim the green tops as you need them and they'll keep regrowing from the base. I've kept the same green onion roots growing for over 3 months just by maintaining the water. Eventually, you can plant them in soil for even more vigorous growth. And they may even produce flowers and seeds if you let them mature. Now, before we wrap up, let me share some critical bonus tips that'll make or break your success with all 5 of these plants. First, let's talk about water quality. Tap water works fine for most people, but if your tap water is heavily chlorinated, let it sit out overnight before using it or use filtered water. Room temperature water is best. Avoid cold water straight from the fridge as it can shock the plants. Lighting is crucial. When I say bright indirect light, I mean a spot that gets several hours of natural light but not harsh direct afternoon sun that can scorch delicate new growth. North or east-facing windows are ideal. If you don't have good natural light, a simple grow light will work wonders. Water change frequency matters more than you think. Stagnant water breeds bacteria and causes rot. For most of these plants, changing water every 2 to 3 days keeps things healthy. If you notice cloudiness or any funky smell, change it immediately. Let's address the organic versus conventional debate. Conventional produce is sometimes treated with growth inhibitors to prevent sprouting during shipping and storage. While many scraps will still grow, organic produce generally has better success rates. If you're struggling with conventional scraps, try organic next time. Transplanting timing: watch for roots that are at least 1 to 2 inches long before moving plants to soil. Use well-draining potting mix, not garden soil which is too dense. Water thoroughly after transplanting and keep soil consistently moist for the first week while roots establish. Temperature matters too. These plants prefer temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid placing them near heating vents or drafty windows. Finally, here's the sustainability angle. Regrowing kitchen scraps reduces food waste, cuts your grocery bill, and gives you the freshest possible produce with 0 pesticides or transportation emissions. You're literally growing food from what you'd otherwise throw away. One green onion root bought once could provide fresh green onions for months. That's powerful. One last thing, don't get discouraged if your first attempt doesn't work perfectly. Propagation is part science, part experimentation. Every kitchen has different conditions, every scrap is slightly different. If something dies, try again. I've killed countless celery bases learning what works. Start with just 1 or 2 scraps, get comfortable with the process. Once you see those first roots or shoots emerging, you'll be hooked. There's something incredibly satisfying about creating life from what would have been trash. And remember, patience is key. Some scraps take longer than others. Give them time, keep the water fresh, and trust the process. Nature wants to grow, you're just giving it the opportunity. So there you have it, 5 kitchen scraps that'll give you free plants for life. Which one are you going to try first? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to Plantify Daily for more growing tips, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Happy growing, and I'll see you in the next one.